Good afternoon, everyone. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. How are you guys? Yay, it's round 3. I am getting stuff pumped out today. I have a lot of stories that I want to bring you. I still think I might have 2 more streams today because there's just a lot of content. And as I'm adding more content to the channel, there's just a lot more things to talk about. And I am enjoying bringing you a variety of different topics. We are going to revisit a well-known topic on this channel, i.e. Amber Portwood, with an update about her new love life. And I have an update for you on the court case that the motion that she filed in court in Indiana earlier this week. So before we get started, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button below. If you're interested in following me on social media, please do. I'm having a hard time with notifications here on YouTube. I don't know what is going on, but if you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, I am posting ahead of time and letting you guys know that I'm about to go live. So follow my social media. I'm almost at 10,000 on Instagram, so make sure you follow me there as well. And all of the descriptions are linked below. Okay, so y'all know that Amber Portwood has a propensity to jump from relationship to relationship and has not always had the best skills in picking the right partners. She's had a string of relationships that have sort of, I don't know, not done well. I would say most, well, Andrew, but I don't know if I would classify Andrew in the same breath as the rest, but we all know her history with Matt Baier, right? Matt met her online after he had been reaching out to other teen moms. He had seemed to be a sort of a super fan of the show and had wanted an in with some of the other cast members. He had tried to reach out to Farrah as well as to Janelle Evans. And when that didn't work, he actually made success with Amber. And they had a really large age difference. He had a bajillion different kids. There was a lot of red flags for a lot of people, although in fairness, he didn't tell her about the 8,000 kids ahead of time. Gary found that after some sleuthing in related to court cases for child support. So when everything went down in July and she was arrested, people were hoping that she would take this time to not be with someone else and really focus on what's going on with her, i.e. this ongoing issue that she seemingly is having related to DV, along with some issues with her mental health, and doing what she needs to do to regain custody of her son, James. That's right. She's currently in a custody battle between her and Andrew related to her son, James. And she is using the court system to file motions constantly as a way to sort of, I don't even know, maybe punish Andrew. But I have an update on that as well. Before we get into that, though, she starts apparently reaching out to this guy. I don't know, this guy reaches out to her from Belgium. His name is Dimitri. He's like 39 years old. He's got a couple kids. He doesn't even really speak English. And when I reached out to my sources connected to Andrew, they had no idea who he was. They knew nothing about him. In fact, they were asking me what I knew because that's how little they knew about him. And they did have some concerns about whether or not this man was going to be around James. Well, it sounds like the Ashley Reality Roundup had a chance to talk to people connected to Amber, maybe Amber or Amber. And that source says that, well, one of her friends, some production sources said that Amber not only is dating him, she flew him out here with a one-way ticket, which, by the way, he's from Belgium. He can only stay here for so many weeks. I think it's like 3 months you can get a visa for. So it's not like he can stay here indefinitely. Flew him out here a couple months ago. They're spending time together at her house. Well, okay, that's dating Amber style. Like, move right in. Come visit me and stay for a few months. We've never met. I hope this works. And apparently he doesn't speak very much English. The production is having some problems, according to the Ashley, with the filming because of the communication issues. But then that's not stopping Amber from irrationally asking the production at MTV to pay him. Well, according to the Ashley, MTV will not pay him because he's not a U.S. citizen. He's not legal here. He doesn't have a work visa, so he cannot make money while he's here. Simple enough, okay? So he's not going to get paid. But it's pretty evident that he's still here because as of just a couple days ago, he was posting a Belgian waffle from Whole Foods, which is in English. He's from Belgium, and he even mentioned, like, he was going to have a Belgian breakfast that wasn't quite close. And then he's posted other photos, where he's seemingly in the United States. So, and people are now starting to ask him questions. Well, apparently he's here indefinitely, I guess, for like up to 3 months, I'm guessing. Doesn't have a plane ticket home. He's got a bunch of kids, met her online. Well, her friends are saying that, they have some concerns. It's giving them some superfan Matt Baier vibes because of how he reached out on social media, blah, blah, blah. Well, after the Ashley published that, Us Weekly published their story, which said that he wasn't a super fan and he's actually just getting to know her and they're just spending time at her house. So my guess is that Amber probably reached out to Us Weekly after production or some of her friends spoke to the Ashley about her trying to get on sort of recraft or restructure the story that was put out by the Ashley, simply stating that, he's not a super fan. It's not like that. We're just getting to know each other. It's no big deal. Okay. Sure, Amber. Whatever you say. She is, typically from what I understand, Us Weekly goes directly to the source. So I would imagine when they say a source connected to Amber, it's probably Amber. But she just doesn't want to go on record saying anything. Now, this is what they said on Us. So this is what the source said to Us Weekly. Amber is dating him. Dimitri has only seen her show a few times. He's not a super fan or anything. He's just a guy who happened to watch the show. He thought she was pretty and reached out to her on social media. And then the relationship is very early stages. She's just getting to know him. They've been spending time together at her place, and he's a breath of fresh air. Of course, they're always a breath of fresh air. They're always the perfect boyfriend right off the bat, right? She always ignores all the red flags, all the warning signs, and then they're always the perfect boyfriend from the jump. So he is confirmed to have filmed for the show, but he will not obviously be paid because he's not a U.S. citizen. So Amber has been filming. Apparently Dimitri will be shown on the show. Gary and Christina are filming. Andrew, according to my sources, has only filmed one time with MTV and will appear in at least one episode and has had no other future MTV filming scheduled at this time. And in relation to the court case, so Amber filed a motion in Marion County Court, and she stated that he had interfered with her parenting time by not allowing her parenting time, her scheduled parenting time on Christmas, and that he went out of the state without prior approval by her or something like that. I don't even know. He doesn't really have to have approval to travel. He has full custody of his son. But I reached out to sources connected to Andrew, and there was something about a dog bite and how he wasn't forthcoming about it, and it was more serious than what it was. So I reached out to a source connected to Andrew, and this is what they told me. They said that Andrew had already when he got into the Family Wizard app, he had already selected Christmas months before as his scheduled holiday. And so there was a timestamp in the Family Wizard at the time when he made the request, I believe in October, that he would have Christmas. Then the source says that Andrew heard from somebody else only shortly before Christmas that Amber had then tried to schedule Christmas despite the fact that it was already scheduled with Andrew. And apparently only reached out to him through the Family Wizard app and through attorneys when she didn't get what she wanted and didn't get to see him on Christmas. But according to our sources connected to Andrew, that she didn't actually have it scheduled. Andrew had it scheduled first. There's proof and receipts that prove that. And so basically she's just being dramatic, I guess, and trying to use the court systems. I don't know. And then in relation to the dog bite, the source said that while they were visiting his family in California, one of his sister's dogs did actually nip at James, but it was a very large dog. And apparently they went to the ER. They get to the ER, they spent a bunch of time there, and it turned out he didn't need stitches. He did have some bruising, and there was a bandage that was required, but it wasn't severe, it wasn't serious, and everything should be just fine. And so They say that they use the app to communicate, but again, he's saying it's always he said, she said, right? So the sources are saying that Amber, again, is just making this a big production because James was not harmed at all. Outside of he was harmed, but it wasn't as big of a deal as she's making it out to be. No stitches were required. Bandage and bruise. Apparently a very large dog. Like a wolfhound, I think. But it was obviously scary for James at the time. This was like one of his first exposures to that dog. And so it was traumatic kind of for everyone involved, but everyone is fine now. And apparently James is doing very well. So there's that. So again, I don't know. That's what they say. This is what Amber says. Who knows? A judge eventually will have to rule on it. The first contempt of court one was continued after they were agreed upon and everything came to head and they were working out fine in the Family Wizard app. So her first attempt to get him in contempt did not work. If he has proof with, as alleged by the source of taking Christmas ahead of time, I don't know how she's going to argue that he interfered on family time. And then if he did what he needed to do and James had the care that he needed to get and he didn't need stitches, I don't know how she would prove that he was lying if they were at the doctor and they took care of it. So part of me is just like, okay, Amber, is this just for show? I don't even know. It's so hard to know. And in reference to whether or not these records are public, I did some digging. In the state of Indiana, oddly, paternity cases related to CPS and such are available for public record. You can actually contact the Marion County Court Office and get copies of the motions. Yikes. So outlets are obviously obtaining the motions as they come forward, but they just are not available online. At this point, sources connected to Andrew say it's no big deal, everything's fine, and Amber's being dramatic. And on Amber's side, she's saying, oh my God, my kid is super, super in bad shape and I need more parenting time. We'll see how everything goes. Her last attempt for contempt of court did not work out. All right, so where are we going to go from here? Well, let's see. I hope Dimitri is not another Matt Baier. We all know how that ended, not only on the show, but on this channel. So I saw some people say in chat, oh, she deserves a Matt Baier. And then I saw someone say, nobody deserves a Matt Baier. And I will say, nobody deserves a Matt Baier. Come on, guys. He is a piece of work. So I just hope that, I don't know. I always hope better. You know what I mean? I always want better for these girls than I think they want for themselves. I wanted her to take care of herself, to get better, to not focus on a relationship. But now it seems like I thought maybe this was a short visit and he was already back and maybe it was safe for her. But the fact that he's still staying there and he's been there for a couple months concerns me. And the fact that there's all these other red flags popping up. He's got kids that he left in Belgium. Come on, how's that going to work? It doesn't even work. And was she then the other question is was she having communication with these guys before? Because it seems quite the leap that within 3 months of talking, he's suddenly here. So were they talking before all of this went down? So many questions here. So many. All right. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Does Dimitri give you Matt Baier vibes? Do you think that everything with the court is just Amber being dramatic and doing what she did to Gary, now to Andrew? And what do you think about MTV not paying him? And will you care to watch the new season of Teen Mom OG, which it doesn't even have there's not a date yet for when it's coming out, so it should be coming out soon. So let me know in the comments below. Also, before you go, I am so close to my 10,000 followers on Instagram, so make sure you check me out on Instagram at instagram.com/withoutacrystalball. And then Twitter and Facebook. Notifications on YouTube are terrible this week. I don't know what is going on. I know there was some rollouts with the new COPPA stuff related to the kids' channels, but it appears to be affecting my channel as well. So if you're not getting notifications here, check me out on social media. I always post ahead of time. All right, I will be back later with more in a few. Bye-bye. Woo, that was a lot. Down here, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up before you go, and peace. Bye.